What's happening, family? Dr. Joe here. Happy Sunday evening, and I hope each of you are well and blessed. It's 5 o'clock sharp, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm so glad to see your faces up in the place. We are here. I'm Dr. Joe, author and founder of the world's greatest transformational process, the 4D turnup, and the Journey 3.0 Plus process, and I'm glad to have you. Many of you all may be watching this. Want to salute you. You are one of our active participants, one of our past graduates, or maybe you're a person who's a family member, a friend of someone who's in the process or who's come through the process. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad that you are here. The 40-day turnup is a transformational process. The process started with my own personal one. I don't like, and we don't like to use the word program. You know, tell me more information about the program. The reason why we don't use that terminology is because a program is something that starts and ends. A process is something that's ongoing. Transformation cannot be programmatic. It has to be a process. It has to be something that continues to evolve, that continues to change, that continues to shift. And that's what we teach here. It started with me. I was about 330 pounds, got tired of my life, got tired of how I felt, got tired of how I looked to myself, got tired of living the life that I was living and wanted to change. And I began to study nutrition, holistic medicine, applied what I learned to myself. And my life has never been the same. Since then, I have had the wonderful opportunity to probably work with, I would say, 30 plus thousand people, if I had to guess. Just 8,000 last year, and we'll probably be on course of 8 to 10,000 this year. So I think that's a conservative number. People from all over the world, and it's been great. Uh, we have a 40-day turnup process. We have a Journey 3.0 plus process which is invitational. And then once people complete that, some of them based upon how they are and what recommendations from their group leaders and coaches evolve and progress into leadership. We have right now probably about 2,300 people who are in this particular process. We got about 2,000 people in the elite process, about 1,500 people in the elite process. We probably have about 400 to 500 leaders who are a part of our family all over the world, 9 different countries. So when you hear about and see the subject matter of Village Chat, what is that? Village Chat is a great platform because it gives us the opportunity to really spotlight our participants, people who are a part of our village. These individuals may be participants. They could be people who have been in our elite class, leaders. I mean, it's really a combination of all of the above. We try to spotlight all of them to really make it about them. And I'm so glad because tonight I've got a special guest that we are looking for a great conversation. I can't wait to learn more about him. And as I'm learning about him, you'll be learning about him as well. So let me present my special guest, one of our very own, Dr. Marshall Mabry. How you doing, sir?
Well, Dr. Joe, good afternoon, everyone.
How you feeling this evening?
Man, I'm feeling wonderfully well. If I was any better, I'd be you.
That's a good one. That's a good one, my friend. Well, first of all, thank you for agreeing to be a part. You immediately accepted. I appreciate it. And I just want to jump right in. Tell us something about yourself, who you are, where you're from, where you live.
Born and raised in the God bless city of Atlanta, Georgia. Now, Dr. Joe, I'm a real ATLian. Okay.
Okay.
Not knocking nobody else. Zone 4, FOE. I'm from the West Side, Bankhead all day. Graduate of Washington High School, and so I'm loving, man, love the journey. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm an author, and so my beautiful wife and I, we just moved to the Augusta, Georgia area, and so yeah, man, we living a dream. I'm a minister. I've been a minister for 26 years now. Pastor for the last 16. So, man, I'm just trying to, make things do what it do. I'm a girl dad, so that's something I really enjoy. As you understand that, I have 5 daughters.
5.
Pray for me, God. Listen, I work like a Jamaican, man. I'm an author. I'm a school administrator. I got to get that coin. I got
Whatever it takes.
yes, sir. Whatever it takes. And I got to say this because I'm gonna get a text message. If I don't, I'm a proud member of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, the oldest and the coldest. I got to say that because if not, my brother's gonna crucify me today. So even though I'm wearing this pink shirt, because I just want to throw that out there.
The oldest and the coldest.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's all right. Well, let's unpack that. You said a lot. You like me are one of the original natives of this city.
Mhm.
And it's great that we're having this conversation because Atlanta has changed so much.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It is not the same Atlanta of old. It is
No.
different and is evolved. So we'll get into that. But you're in Atlanta now. You are an author. You are a pastor, a minister, girl dad, husband,
Yeah.
father. So you are Marshall Mabry III, Ph.D.
Yes, sir.
So tell us what you did your studies in.
I got my undergrad degree from Mercer University. I have a master's from Morehouse School of Medicine in administration with a concentration in just involved care, and I worked on my counseling degree from Liberty University.
Excellent. So you do it all.
I'm a girl dad, man. I'm telling you, these listen, the orders are expensive, my friend. Man, I'm a real hustler. I'm a grinder. You know, I'm an author. Like I said, I write books. I do counseling. I got to get that coin, man. You know, legally.
Legally.
I got to legally get that coin.
That means taxes are paid.
Yes, pay. And student loans and everything. Fannie Mae, Sally Mae, all on want my money. So I gotta do what I gotta do.
All right, let's talk about the girls' ages.
Well, my oldest daughter is 26. It's 26. Yeah, man. I had my oldest daughter when I was a senior in high school. And I'm very transparent in my story because I had a lot of people telling me that, you know, I was going to be a statistic because I had a child out of wedlock. My daughter was literally born the week before my 18th birthday.
Wow.
I turned a father. I was 17 years old. My daughter's born October 15th. My birthday is October 22nd. And so like the next week, I was propelled into fatherhood. Like I'm like 18 years old, trying to be a father. My parents like, listen, that school you want to go to out of state? No, you're going to school in state. And so I had to make some adjustments and shifting, but I'm so glad my daughter is 26 years old now. She works for the government. She's an engineer, graduated with honors from Kennesaw State. And so, man, she's one of my heartbeats, man. I love her to pieces. So we've defied the odds, but it was not outside of our village. Though. We need a strong village to make that happen.
That is so commendable, sir. I'm so happy we're having this conversation. You had your child a week before you turned
Before I turned 18
in high school.
In high school.
And look at how it's turned out for you. That's great. So let's go back to that. What are some of the things? Because there are a lot of young men who are in the same positions who don't embrace that responsibility. What are some things that maybe when you look back on that you learned that maybe there's someone who's listening who may be in that same in those same shoes? Like what can you tell them that they can do to encourage them?
You know, one of the things I had to learn was to take everyone out of my ear. Because it's very, very oftentimes we allow other people to use our ears and in this space as a dumping ground or say, hey, this is what I would do if I was you, or blah, 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 blah. And I had to sit down and realize that it's my relationship with my daughter. That's first and foremost. Whether or not her mother and I stay together. And listen, we have co-parented wonderfully over these last few years. And we've had our bumpy roads or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's about me and her.
Right.
You know, because nowadays people throw you into the bus. They will say you were never there, you didn't support, so on and so forth. And though child support is great, it only goes so far. My girls need a presence. And now here's the fun thing. My oldest daughter is 26. My youngest is 5.
Wow.
5. Don't judge me. I hear judgment in your voice. Don't do that.
No, I don't. No judgment.
Don't do that.
No judgment.
But my wife always reminds me, she says, honey, we're raising the next generation of women. And so as a girl dad, I'm learning that there's a lot of women out there who were abandoned emotionally by somebody who was supposed to care for them, love them, protect them, cover them. And so I'm a huge, like, I'm a hugger. I'm trying to love on my girls. I'm the oldest of 8. And I grew up with brothers. It's 5 boys and 3 girls. So I'm used to that roughhouse and stuff. I can't roughhouse my girls because they're girls.
Right.
Even though I like to watch wrestling with my daughter sometime, but it ain't the same. I can't I can't put my daughter in a stone cold stunner. I can't drop her like that, but I want to sometimes.
Right.
But man, we gotta heal ourselves. Healing is a process. And once, me being 18 years old, I'm an I had literally, like, I think the year before my daughter, right before my daughter turned a year old, I went away to college. And I went to college like right down to Macon, Georgia, on like an hour and a half from Atlanta. But I had to go away because I had to grow up in the midst of watching her grow up as well. So it was a journey for both of us. We grew up together.
Wow.
Emotionally, it was a struggle. But at the same time, here the other side of the coin. At the same time, I'm a young minister. I've been doing this for I started preaching at 17. So in that same year, me doing my initial sermon, I had a baby, like a few months later. So and this is not what in the Black church, especially the Black Baptist church. Oh, you didn't do that, Doc. You got set down.
Right. Totally.
So that was a struggle. And my home church at the time, Honey Hill Baptist Church, fellowship with your father's church. I was always over there for something.
Yeah.
Over on Baker. And man, we were always doing something together. And
That's
them old church, they didn't play that, man. You sat down, they made you almost had to marry a young lady and stuff like that. So
that's so true. Everything that you said, that's fascinating how small the world is. So you, girl dad, you got your master's from Morehouse School of Medicine in public administration. What did you say it was?
Administration.
Okay. And you said when we first started that you and your wife and family have recently moved to Augusta.
Yes, sir.
What caused that, and how has that transition been?
Well, God, I always tell people when things look like they're falling apart, they're really falling in place. And so 16 years ago, before I met my wife, we both lived in Augusta. We didn't know each other, lived on opposite sides of town. And I moved away, went into full-time ministry in Macon. And we lived in Macon 3.5 years ago. Her job, she found a job here and they said, hey, listen, we want you to move. I'm pastor. I said, no, we're not doing that. No, we got a family, we got a home here. And they came back. I'm be honest, Dr. Joe, we prayed about it. They came up with some real good money. There's some real good money. And I said, well, baby, listen, we got to pack it up and we moving to Beverly. We got to go. We got to shoot deuces. And so we were looking for better opportunities for our family. And at the end of the day, I love ministry. But I've learned over the years, my family is my first ministry. Right. I refuse to sacrifice my family on the altar of ministry. I can't do that.
Yeah. And it happens so often.
Oh, so often, the preacher's kids get the worst rap. Yeah. And it's mainly because the pastor has a great heart, but he has been committed to serving and taking care of others. Yeah. So I tell people, if my wife wants a vacation, we going on vacation.
Right.
I tell my members, hey, no, we ain't gonna be here for your Thanksgiving service. That's why you have a social. Let them preach. We're going to Disney World. I need to enjoy my family because when y'all get mad at me, want to shoot deuces, these gonna be the ones to take care of me.
Right.
So my family is that's my heartbeat. And anybody knows me knows I love my daughters. Like that's what I want to invest in.
Right. That's fascinating. I agree with that. Now, how long have you been married?
Coming up on 8 years now. This is actually my second marriage. Yes.
So you got married in 2016.
My first wife when I got married in 2016.
Yeah, you're supposed to know right off. I'm kidding. The reason why I said that is because my wife and I would have been married 8 years this October as well. So that's how. And one thing, I let me know what you think about this, but Black marriages, when you see a Black man and a Black woman, it's almost like a unicorn these days. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that it's not a lot of it, but in terms of the image of it. And I think that it needs to be promoted more. Not only is it God's institution, but it's just something that is so lacking in our community. How does it make you feel to be a husband, in a family and, doing it the right way?
Well, so funny. Killer Mike did an interview recently, another ATL, and he did an interview about the Black family. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
And it was really, really cool. Right after he won the Grammy, he talks about the importance of the Black family. He says, I need a Black wife because my Black wife understands the struggle of being a Black person. And only my Black wife can help me raise my Black children and impart culture and generational wealth and, impartation. And that was so key to me. Even living in Augusta, there's a military base, and my wife and I, we always remark that a lot of the people we see a lot of interracial couples, and because they're from, they're military, so they're from other places.
Right.
I grew up just like you did in that Cosby era. Every Thursday night at 8:00, we watched the Cosby Show.
Thursday at 8.
I mean, it was religious. It was like going to church. Like you didn't take phone calls. 8:00 on Thursday, we watching the Cosby Show.
That's right.
And then 8:30 was a different world.
A different world. Yeah. That's right.
Listen, you don't understand how disappointed I was when I found out Hillman was not a real school.
Right.
God, that hurt me. Right. I wanted to go to Hillman so bad. I was going to pledge Kappa Lambda Nu. I was so man, I was into that thing, man.
Yeah.
And so it was just seeing the Black family dynamic is what you need. And so, for us, it's interesting that you say that because my wife is actually biracial. And I know she's listening right now. She's on the other side of the house, probably listening, smiling right now.
Salute to the missus.
Yeah, salute to the missus. The best thing ever happened to me, man. Seriously, I pray for that girl. I tell anybody, I'm like Lil Wayne. I pray for a long haired, thick red bone. So I got me one. Thank you. Hallelujah. She gonna get me later. I already know. But since I'm out here, I'm gonna say what I want. I'm out here now. But no, man, it's we're trying to develop things. Like I tell my wife, it's important for our daughters to see us hold hands and talk and that kind of things, because I don't want my daughters to be coerced by some snake salesman, some little young boy. He got some slick lines, because he done seen some stuff. He know how to come up to a girl and say some things, and she is wooed away, or her mind is entrapped and tangled because he got some smooth lines and a couple of dollars in his pocket.
Right.
So I take my daughters on dates. We go places, we do things with them because we want them to see, hey, you are young queens. You ought to be treated as such. I want somebody, if you can't listen, if your daddy opens the door for you, that boy gonna open the door for you.
Right.
Don't take less from that. If your daddy loves on you and prays for you and do certain things or whatever, that man should do the same thing. And I'm not giving my daughter to anybody that I know, that I believe can take care of her. I'm not doing that.
Right. That's powerful. That's so powerful. And you bring up a great point, because it just goes to show you, like when you're reading the Old Testament in ancient times, how they had the dowry, and how the whole purpose of the dowry, or when one would pay the father or work for the father of that woman so she could be married, was to show the capacity to care for that man's daughter. That was, if you can't pay the dowry, you can't take care of my daughter. Now, I know we don't live in the same times, but you're essentially saying the same thing. As a man, I would never give, and we would never give our daughters to a young man who couldn't care for her.
Yeah. Well, even in other cultures, I think in Nigerian cultures and stuff like that, you have to bring gifts to the family.
That's right.
To make sure that you're able to afford, to make sure that, nobody wants to live in poverty.
Right.
We even say in the marital vows, in sickness and in health, death do us part, so the rich and for poor, so on and so forth. I've done the for poor part. I'm going to give her the richer part. Like we ain't, we don't want to struggle all the time. Like I enjoy Waffle House.
Right.
But every once in a while, I want Ruth Chris. We just gotta, gotta put things in place. And so that honestly kind of kickstarted my health journey, because I realized I was not being true to myself and to my family by not living my best life and being a prison to my own body.
That's a good transition. Let's go to how did you hear about the 4-day turn up, and what made you want to be a part?
I heard about it from one of your alum, Miss, my dear friend from school. We've been friends like 30. She gonna get mad. I'm gonna say we've been friends over 30 years since elementary school. Miss Tanisha Pritchard Rosser. TP, that's my girl right there.
Right? Yeah. She's awesome. Love TP. Salute
like TP. Literally since elementary school, man. Yeah. So we kind of evolved and stuff. And she kept saying, I want you to try this program. I want you to try this program. I was like, I don't know. And I watched her go through the program. I watched her lose weight, and she's kept it off. And I've watched her husband do the same thing. I said, man, like a lot of times, like those are the walking billboards. Like that's the advertisement that you need to say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I lost my sister-in-law, my aunt, and one of my favorite members within like a 3-month span.
Mm.
And so for me, even though, and this is where you understand this, even as a minister, I've realized I didn't have a safe place to go and relieve and deal with my grief.
Yeah.
So what did I do? So who helped me? Of course, I went in prayer. I talked to my family, talked to my wife, talked to my friends. But there's only so much, healing that they can do because I had a hole in my space and in my spirit. So the only person that could heal me was Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
Zaxby's,
Yeah.
anything fried and covered. Man, that was on me. Like I would eat before I get home and then eat again.
Yeah.
And so I was emotionally depressed, and I will preach 2 times a Sunday.
Yeah.
So you know how they go. I mean, I'm drenched, preaching to folk happy. We got a musician playing behind me. I'm gonna close in E flat. That's my key, and we having a good time.
Right.
And I'm going to my office exhausted.
Yeah.
Because I'm out of weight. I'm overweight. And so at my highest, and I just kept buying bigger clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. And it got to a point I would just wear robes all the time because I was so big. And then when I realized my robes weren't closing, I was like, oh yeah, I got to do something about this.
Yeah.
So in my heaviest, I was a size 19 shirt, and I was 320.
Yeah.
I watched my blood pressure and medicine go from 5 milligrams to 30. And so I made a promise to my wife. I was wearing compressions every Sunday, wearing compression socks, my legs would swell up.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching and I realized I was a hypocrite. A lot of preachers don't want to say this. I was a hypocrite. I'm telling my members to eat well and be well, emotionally, spiritually, so on and so forth. And I'm slowly killing myself because I got to have a quarter pounder with cheese, supersize the fries, extra salt, and I'm eating my pain, man. And so I had to do something about that. So last year I started this program. I told TP, hey, I got to do something. And so I was started 19 dress shirt. I'm down to a size 17 and a half dress shirt.
Wow.
I was 320 as of yesterday's weigh-in. I'm 267. So
Wow.
Look, man, I'm killing. Yeah, size 56 longs, 56 regular suit. I'm in my 50 regulars, and my goal is to get to my 48, 46s.
That is phenomenal. So you came through in November.
Yes.
Okay. That is awesome. So tell them your metrics again. You started at 320.
320.
And you down to 267.
267. Yes, sir.
That's 3 pounds.
Yeah. And a lot of it was, just me kind of learning what to eat, how to eat.
Yeah.
I started intermittent fasting at one point as well. And I didn't realize how much food had become a crush to me.
Yeah.
I'm a school administrator. And so in the midst of that, I'm in school sometimes 10 hours a day, sometimes longer than that, depending on activities. So I'm eating when I can, what I can. I'm sipping on coffee all day long. I laughed at myself the other day because my desk drawer, and I can admit this, I don't know if my wife even knows, in my desk drawer, I said it was for my students, but it was really for me. I had honey buns, Cheetos, Takis, all the good stuff, candy and stuff like that. And I was just eating because I was just trying to keep going. The male narrative is that we just got to keep working. And unfortunately, that's why the Black female, outlives us by at least 20 to 30 years because we're just working ourselves into a frenzy.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Talk to the people when you went. So when you came through in the previous session, which is Shine back in you got started in October, finished a week before.
Oh no, I'm sorry. But let me back up. No, actually, I just started this term, but I heard about it. I actually missed the deadline.
Okay.
But actually, in the midst of that, TP was like, "Hey, do this, do that," kind of.
So you're in this group. Got it.
Yes, sir. I'm in this group.
I'm with you. Okay, now talk to the people about your group. Let's give your group a shout out.
Man, my coach is Daryl Lewis. We are the Men of Excellence, and those are the most supportive brothers. Every single day, we're dropping food advice for one another. Like, hey, man, how you feeling? Y'all been encouraged. We send each other motivations. We're sending pictures to kind of say, hey, listen, eat well and exercise. So it's really been helpful to me.
Well, shout out to Coach Daryl. And what is it?
Coach Daryl's amazing.
What's the name of the group again?
Men of Excellence.
Men of Excellence. Shout out to Coach Daryl and the Men of Excellence.
Awesome, brother.
That is awesome. How does it feel to come through the process and have that type of support that is intrinsic to the process?
No man is an island. And so oftentimes, and I think especially for Black women are more communal when it comes to conversation and engaging each other. Black men are more like, well, I do it by myself. I can handle this. We thrive on community, but oftentimes we don't need community. So for me, say, hey, even though I have brothers, fraternity brothers, spiritual brothers, covenant brothers, I was secretly not dealing with my own issues, especially just kind of eating my feelings away. And so, man, having these brothers say, hey, man, I can be honest, say, bros, I told them, I say, brothers, listen, it's one of them days. I just sent a message, hey, bro, I feel like I need some sweet, like I need some coffee, like Dunkin' Donuts hollering at your boy. Like I needed that. And we were able to kind of push each other through to get to the other side. So I think it's so important because a lot of times we need somebody we can lean on and be that crutch that I can be vulnerable around. And a lot of men aren't built that way. We're not built to talk to other men outside of the obligatory or the real, hey man, I'm good. You good? Yeah, I'm good. And the fact of the matter is most of us really lie when we say we're good anyway. Nobody ever excavates to go a little deep and find out, are you really good? Like how are you doing? Not how Dr. Joe doing, how Joe doing? Like how you really, how you maintaining life and marriage and ministry and fatherhood, blah, blah, blah. Because we wear a lot of hats.
We do. That's powerful. How have you been feeling? How has the process impacted, your physical, what differences, if any, have you noticed within yourself?
Well, outside of my clothes, because all my all of my 3X shirts are too big. I have more energy. My students are noticing, you losing weight. I'm like, I'm doing a little something. I love it. I love to be able to get back in my older clothes.
Yeah.
Like I love that feeling because I'm gonna tell you, Facebook got that memory piece, that Facebook memories are popping. Yeah. Man, that stuff will hurt your feelings right there.
It can help you or hurt you, depending. Right.
And I told one of my friends, I said, man, listen, you my brother for like 25 years. Why you ain't tell me I got that big?
Yeah.
Like I didn't, you don't realize it until I post a picture and I'm like this time last year.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that was ridiculous. So, I don't have to wear compression socks anymore.
Yeah. Praise God. That's awesome.
Praise God, man. My blood pressure is amazing. Matter of fact, I had sleep apnea really, really bad. I feel like I have a new lease on life. I'll be honest, my wife probably tired of me because I got a lot of energy. I'm chasing her around the house. She gonna salute to the missus because she's gonna get mad at me later on.
Salute to the missus.
Gotta keep it 100, man. Because I'm outside with my daughters, man. Like I said, my oldest is 26. My next daughter is 15. She'll be 16 next week. I got a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 5-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So in the midst of
energy, you need money and energy.
Listen, and that 5-year-old is my boss. She will listen, Daddy. We going outside. Daddy, we going to so and so. I just say yes, ma'am. So I need that energy, and I'm enjoying showing other people, hey, you don't have to eat like that.
Right.
You don't have to live like that. And I think oftentimes it's culturally that we need to change the way we do things.
That's awesome. And it's so great because you are impacting the lives of so many people. People are watching you. People that are watching you, but it's more people watching you that you don't know that you're impacting. And that's so great, to be in a position of being a teacher, being a pastor, being a community leader. And, people are seeing you do it. And that's awesome. And the best part of you and everybody who's in this process is that you're doing it naturally. That is so valuable. I mean, that's a badge of honor, to say, hey, I'm taking my health back and I'm doing it the right way.
Right. I'll be honest with you. And I'm not knocking anybody.
Yeah, sure.
If you try Ozempic, that's on you.
Right.
I'm not good with medicine. I forget stuff. I'm just not good at taking pills, shots, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But for me, I need sustainable stuff.
Yeah.
Something I can look at and say, okay, this is where I'm trying to go. I put the work in. I did this. I put my sweat equity. You know what I'm saying? So now when I get up in the morning and I'm sweating like I feel better because I did that, and my children are watching. I put on Facebook a few days ago. I know my friends are tired of me, but I share my journey. And I told somebody, I said, shoot, y'all watch me gain, wait, you'll watch me lose it.
Right, right.
I mean, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like,
don't say nothing when you're gaining.
Right.
They don't ask you what you're doing when you're gaining.
Right. And here's the thing, the thing about the Black church community, we always want to feed folk. And there's nothing wrong. That's our culture. We want to make sure pastor got some sweet. No. Stop. Please stop.
Right.
Because I know my triggers. Like I tell anybody, when I know me. Right. So when you get to a place, you know yourself, you know your triggers, you know where you're vulnerable. I know certain things I can't eat at night. Let me get some snacks. I know my wife tells me all the time, hey, you're getting hangry again. Get you something, put some on your stomach, because I know me.
Yeah. That's fascinating. That's awesome. This has been a great conversation that we've had, sir. It's been great to meet you and to know you. I look forward to us having more conversations and to meet you in person one day, especially if you're local.
Yes, sir. I come to town all the time.
All right, when you're in Atlanta, for sure. But before we let you go, I want to end with some fun questions. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
It's fun, serious, impromptu questions. So they're all different. So, all right. What has been the most life-changing thing to happen to you?
Most life-changing thing. Getting a divorce. Getting divorced. I'm gonna tell you, it was life-changing because it hurt me because nobody gets married to get divorced. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, I was divorced. I was going through divorce and still pastoring. So people saw my marriage implode, and so it was a whole public thing. But at the same time, it made me sit down and write my first book. I've written 4 books. The shameless plug. My first book is called 10 Things Your Man Won't Tell You. And so I've written 2 relationship books and 2 children's books. And if it wasn't for me kind of learn how to talk my way through things, I would have never started therapy. I would have kind of followed the road to be able to help other people who need therapy. I specialize in marriage and family therapy. So it hurt me, but it helped me at the same time.
Now let's rewind, because I you don't have to worry about shameless plugs. I want you to plug yourself. you have websites? Are there? Tell me whatever you want to tell me, and we'll post it, because I want the people to support you and to know.
I don't have any books, but my website is Marshall Mabry, MARSHALL, Mabry, MABRY.com.
Okay.
And if you go to Amazon, all my books are up there. 10 Things Your Man Won't Tell You. The second book is called Who Packed Your Bags. It's about unpacking your emotional toxicity and going through your journey of healing. I have a children's book. It's called B is for Blended, because I am a blended family. Came from one. I'm in one myself. And my 4th book is about autism. And so, which is near and dear to my heart, because I used to educate students who had autism. And so we oftentimes don't talk about autism in the Black community. So that's something very near to my heart.
Very taboo.
Oh, very, very taboo. It's because in our culture, we don't expose ourselves to other people. We don't expose, we will grow up in that narrative of what goes on in my house stays in my house. Or we don't shame anybody. So we just look out for each other, and everybody's a part of the community as a whole. But yeah, with autism, we got to talk about how it's affecting our children, whether you're on the spectrum, whether you're verbal or nonverbal. And so I love it. My book is called I'm Not Weird, I Have Autism.
I've got you on the screen. Marshall, MARSHALLMABRY.com. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can see it. All right. Is
yes,
that
sir.
correct? That's correct.
That's correct. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You all check him out on his website. You'll find his books, correct?
Yes, sir. And on Amazon.
And on all the links to the books. He's done books on relationships. He's done books on autism. and what else have you done books on?
Blending families.
Blended families. Okay, that's powerful. I would imagine
it's huge with that, man. Because it's becoming the norm for a lot of families right now. My wife is working on a podcast about it right now, and we want to just help you because it's something that people don't talk about. But like in our family, we don't say that's my stepbrother, half brother, yada yada yada. My stepmom, like, no, that's my bonus mom, my mom, and we're family. There's no separate parts to that. We're all one big family. So no matter how you got here, you're here now. You're a part of our village.
All right. So MarshallMabry.com, all this information is there. I'm sure you do speaking engagements. They can contact you there.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. Everything's on there.
All right. Now, social media, how can they connect with you if they want more information and want to connect with you are you on IG and Facebook?
I'm on IG and Facebook. Yes, sir. Same name.
All right.
On IG. Yeah. On IG is Marshall Mabry, the number 3.
All right. Marshall Mabry and the number 3 on
Yes,
IG.
Number 3. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And on Facebook, it's just Marshall Mabry. So once you go on, you'll see my face. It pops right up. So
Marshall Mabry, the number 3 on Instagram. Marshall Mabry, just Marshall Mabry on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. We're going to leave that up. All right. Now, how different is your life now than you thought it would be when you were a child?
I want to be an OBGYN.
I did. That's why you got all them children.
Ooh, you look. I forgot. I forgot.
That's great.
that was a good one. That was good sliding. Yeah, man. I want to be OBGYN so bad. Like, I wanted to. In my mind, I visited Mabry. I'm on Fisk Medical School. From Fisk College, University rather, in Nashville. And then my next plan was to go right across the street to Mabry.
Right.
Like that was it. I got the undergrad, and when I started filling them science classes, I was like, yeah, that ain't for your boy. Like, and we started dissecting stuff. I was like, yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So,
well, you made an adjustment, still got that doctor, you just did in a different field.
I did. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I was honestly trying to run from ministry on that level and pastoring because I grew up around preachers my whole life.
Yeah.
So I saw the stresses and strains it puts on your body, your family, your finances, and stuff. I was like, yeah, that ain't for me because I'm from the west side of Atlanta. I got hood in me. I'll probably cuss you out. So I'm like, I tell folks all the time, listen, please be patient with me. Like I'm from the real west side, like downtown Atlanta, like Harris home, like that. That's my neighborhood. So
right.
Yeah, like before gentrification.
If you could have a conversation with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh wow, that's a good one. You know, it's gonna sound really weird. Reverend C.L. Franklin. Like he's one of my oh man. Him, Gardner C. Taylor, Charles Booth, your dad. There's a whole litany of preachers that A.A. Allen. Like I like the older guys because they could really tell the story.
Yeah.
You know, I would really want to sit there just kind of pick his brain, man. Like, how did you choose to sustain ministry? How did you do what you do? Like, he's passed on like in the early 80s, and with his clips are still relevant. Like, he's still the stuff he says. I'm like, wow, it's prophetic preaching.
Yeah,
it's engaging, and I just want to be able to really pick his mind and say, how did you do what you did? You know,
wow, that's great, awesome. I agree with that. All right, I got 2 more. If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, no judgment, what would it be? This is not loaded. What meal would you never get tired of?
You know, I love Chinese food. And the all the starches, all the sweet stuff, like anything the Chinese, the variety, like give me everything. I love it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I love noodles. I love the rice. Like give me all that kind of stuff. I eat all day, every day if I could.
All right. Last question. If there is one city in America that you visited that you feel most fits your personality, what would that city be?
New Orleans.
All right. Tell us
504. I like because the cultural adaptation, like it's a whole diaspora. Like you got everybody living in different places, but everybody comes to this a cultural melting pot. They embrace family because they can tell you whether or not they are Creole or Indian or whatever. You know, you come from the East Bank, the West Bank, you know, and if you say baby the right way, oh my gosh, Reverend. that messed your boy up. You said, baby, that I'm through right there now. And it's a, and I'm a foodie. It's a big food city.
It is.
Every time I go, I gotta stop. This is no lie. My every time I go to New Orleans, and I've gone several times, as soon as I get off the plane, I get in my car, I gotta go to Cafe Du Monde every time.
Yeah.
I need a hot beignet every single time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get me a Bloody Mary. I gotta get me some jambalaya. I have to, like, it's my happy place.
New Orleans, hands down, is the best city for food in America.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
No, it's no argument. So salute to the 504.
Yeah, you're gonna get everything you want.
Everything you want.
Listen, this is the only place I know where they have daiquiri stands on the corner. Yes. I mean, you're gonna find stuff fresh out the water, and I love seafood, but they're gonna call you baby, head chef, all that broken English, French. I love it, man. I go crazy for that stuff. And so I love cultures. I'm a nerd at heart.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I love food. And so when your food tells a story about your family and your past, and it tells a story about generations, and this my TT's recipe about jambalaya and red beans and rice, and you just add on to it, it feeds my soul. So that's why I'm at the end of the day, feeding my soul and feeding my experiences.
Wow, that is awesome, sir. You have been a great interviewee, sir. Thank you, Dr. Mabry, for being my special guest. You've been a breath of fresh air. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for your transparency. Salute to you and your lovely wife and amazing family. MarshallMabry.com, gang. Check him out. Let's support him. Let's get all his books so we can support him. And sir, thank you for being my guest. And I hope you're blessed. I look forward to us meeting in person one day soon.
Yes, sir. We done with. Thank you for the opportunity, man. Listen, I've been an admirer of your ministry, your father and your brother for years, man.
Oh, wow.
Back when y'all was at Morehouse and everything, and I want to be like y'all when I grow up.
You too kind.
I couldn't go to the house because I got accepted. I got accepted to Morehouse.
Right.
I couldn't go to. It was too close to my own house, and I was like, I need some space for my family.
You went down to Macon. That's all right.
Right down the road. Right down.
Right.
But man, thank you for the opportunity, man.
Thank you, sir.
I'm enjoying this journey, and so I'll see you at the finish line.
Well, praise God. Keep pushing, man. God bless you.
Sir, I will. Thank you so much. Salute, big bro.
All right. Dr. Marshall Mabry, we salute to him. What a great interview. I like to, once I interview people, I like to reflect on what they said, and I like to make comments in terms of things that were said that I remembered for context for you all. I'll say this, and we'll go 600 of you all watching me live right now. One of the things that Dr. Mabry talked about was triggers. He brought that up, and all of us have triggers, and triggers are things that will only remain triggers if you let them trigger you. Meaning what? When you're triggered by something, a food, a drink, whatever it is, and you indulge in that, the act of indulgence of whatever said trigger is empowers the trigger more. It deepens the influence that it has over your life. And I learned this. When I started my process 16 years ago, it's been probably 16 years ago, I could not smell bread baking and not eat it. Couldn't do it. Impossible. And what I did when I first started my journey, because I didn't have a group, I didn't have a coach, I didn't have Dr. Joe. I was kicking rocks without socks on my own. But what I started to do was I just, for 2 or 3 weeks, 4, 5, 6 weeks, I couldn't go to the grocery store when they were baking bread in the morning. I couldn't. It would throw me off. But what I noticed is the more I would be triggered by something and I intentionally did not succumb to its draw. And I continually did that. Over time, the trigger left. When I would need sweets, that was a trigger. Hot dough, folks from Atlanta, when you see back before Krispy Kremes went public, you saw Krispy Kreme's hot donut sign now. I could not pass it by. If I was at a church event or over somebody's house and they offered me food, I could not be offered food and not eat it. I could not be a wedding and not eat the Swedish meatballs or the chicken wings or the cake. I could not. These were all triggers. But I learned, I said, I got to the point to where probably about 2 months into my original journey, I got to the point to where I could smell bread and it didn't affect me. Because it's the resistance of it. That's how you know it's spiritual. Because when Jesus resisted the devil, when he tried to tempt him through eating, through his ego saying, cast yourself down. If you are the Son of God, the angels will come and save you, blase, blase. And when he said, if you bow down to me, I'll give you all of this. He resisted the devil. And the Bible says that the devil left and the angels came and assisted him. That's how you know it's spiritual. When you are triggered by something in a way that it causes you to want to participate in something, you have to hold fast and not succumb to the draw of it. And the more you do that, the more the tentacles of that trigger will lessen its root and its impact upon you. Today, when I'm in the grocery store, if I smell bread, I don't even think about it. It's almost like it's not even being baked. I was the biggest sweets eater in the world. I never crave them. It took a long time for me to get to that point. That's the first thing I want to share in what Dr. Mabry said. The second thing that I want to bring up that he said, he was talking about how his clothes fit so much better. This is one of the most powerful things that you'll ever have in your life. The day that changed my life is the day that I had been working on myself and I probably lost about 60 pounds. I went from a size 48 in the waist and I got all the way down to a 40. And I bought some jeans in Macy's at Cumberland Mall off of the shelf for the first time in my adult life. I had a breakdown. I'm in the clothing changing room crying. Folks are saying something wrong. I couldn't explain it to them. I never will forget the power that I felt when I was able to buy jeans in a mall. That was huge for me. And see, when I got, even though I had lost probably 60 or 70 pounds at that time, 8 inches off of my waist. I bought those Levi's size 40. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was hooked then. Most people, when they start these types of transformations, don't get to their burning bush moment. Why do I say burning bush moment? Because when Moses was on the mountain and God revealed himself to him as a burning bush, that was an epiphany. That was a moment in time that changed Moses' life forever. When I bought jeans in Macy's, in Cumberland, they were white. I still got them. I keep them. Okay? That was an epiphany for me. Most of us fall off the wagon, and if you listen to to Dr. Mabry, he said that when he was talking about TP, shout out to TP and her husband, he said not only did she lose weight, but she's kept it off. The folk who keep it off versus the ones who don't are the people who stay in the race long enough to have that epiphany. When you have that epiphany, you'll never go back. Man, when I got them size 40 jeans, I was more focused then than I was before. I got all the way down to a 34. And I told y'all before, I can wear everything in my closet. But let me tell you something. Getting to a 40 meant more to me than when I got down to a 34. It was a life-changing moment that I will never forget. Everything about me changed. And what changed for me, and I'm done, was the belief in myself that I didn't have to that level. What I'm not saying I didn't believe in me, but I never thought I could do something like that. So when you find people who fall off the wagon, they gain all the way back, they didn't stay in it long enough. They didn't have their epiphany moment. It's not always about a number, 20, 30 pounds. I know people who lost 80 pounds in 2 months, gained it back. When you stay in that race and in that grind, and you had that epiphany, you don't go back. You would have to kill me to go back to where I was, because the life when I was much bigger was a much more inferior life than the life I'm living now. I didn't feel as good. I didn't look as good. I wasn't as confident. A lot of things that I have done in this process are a byproduct of the belief that I gained for me during my process. Everybody told me, you can't sustain this without charging people. Here we are in year 12, going on year 13. But what you got to understand is the reason why is because I believe in me. I believe that somebody gonna want to listen to me. I believe that what I have to say is going to change somebody's life so dramatically that it's going to be enough people to sustain the process. It gotta start with me first. That belief came from what I gained when I was working on myself. So if you are an obese person, if you're a person who has lost your health, there's no judgment, but what you have to understand is you are not the best version of you. And a shot or a scalpel is not going to get you to that point. It's when you look within yourself and pull and conjure what you need to pull and conjure and keep your head in the wind and keep on pressing forward until you had that epiphany. The epiphany isn't how good you look in jeans, how much they trying to holler at you, how good you look in your suit. Mm-mm. The epiphany for some, I know someone whose epiphany was when they could travel the first time without a seatbelt extension. You see? You gotta keep going until your epiphany comes. How do I know it? You'll know it. Did nobody have to tell Moses, this is a transformational moment for you? They didn't have to tell him. The Bible says when he came off the mountain that he had aged. He looked different because he had been in the presence of God. If you see them saying, well, what's my epiphany? Some of y'all are not, most of y'all are not going to get to your epiphany within the 40-day turn up. Yeah, you may have things that are good. Hey, I'm no longer on blood pressure medication. I've seen tons of people get off blood pressure medication or insulin, and then they go right back to it. No, that epiphany is when something happens that at that moment, you know, I'm never going back. You don't even worry about it. Gang, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's session. Salute to our second Village Chat, episode 2, with Dr. Marshall Mabry III. Salute to him. Salute to each of you. Salute to my team, all of my leadership coaches, super leaders. For those of you all who want more information about the 40-day turn up, about the journey, about me and what it is that we do, look us up on all social media platforms. Journey Life TV, JOURNEY LIFE TV on Instagram, Facebook, and right here on YouTube. All right, gang, look forward to seeing y'all sometime tomorrow with more updates. We got a big week this week. We got an empowerment session on Wednesday, right here on YouTube at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with a Village Empowerment session you don't want to miss. It's going to be epic with Dr. Karen Wilcox. We have our master bonus class to where we are doing a centenarian review of blood work. Peep game. We've got one of the largest studies. It's about 44,000 people, a study out of Canada that tracked people who were centenarians. Centenarians are individuals who lived to the age of 100 or older. And they compared their blood work to people who did not make it to 100 years of age. One of the most fascinating presentations that you're going to hear. That's going to be Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be conducting masterclass session number 4. Why am I doing it on Friday? Because of the funeral that I have to do this upcoming Saturday. And so I can be able to be live with you all and not be rushed on Saturday. I'll do it a day early or an evening early. We'll leave it up a couple of extra days so you'll have plenty of time. You'll know what the subject matter will be very, very soon. Until next time, be well, be blessed. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you on the next one. Peace and blessings.